What it do, YouTube? It's your boy Geek Samurai coming to you back with another video, man. In this video, I want to get into it without no hesitation, y'all. I just finished watching Game of Thrones Season 8, Episode 3. And bruh, what an fantastic fucking episode, man. Sorry for the language, but I just have to say that, man. This episode... Oh, this season 8, episode 3 is the greatest episode in Game of Thrones history. I don't even care what's happening next week or the week after or the season finale. There's 3 episodes left. I don't care. This episode was everything that I was waiting for since season 1, episode 1. When we go beyond the wall and we see these whites attacking the Night's Watch Rangers. We see all of this. All of this led up to this moment for this big battle between the living and the dead. All of it. So without any further ado, let's jump into this review. Let's begin. So we start out this episode where we see Sam and he's shaking and he's afraid. And he just doesn't know how to control himself. We see him looking at his hands and he just can't stop shaking. We see men standing right in front of him, tell him, hurry up then, get a move on. What are you waiting for? Let's go. The enemy's at our front door. The enemy's at our gate. There's no more time to be afraid. Let's do it. Like Nike said, just do it. So we see Sam trying to look for a weapon. We see Sam trying to gather himself. And he's trying to run into position and prepare for battle. So we see Sam going on his way. And then we finally see him make eye contact with Tyrion. Tyrion looks back at him as he prepares. And all Tyrion can do is just get himself together and get ready to go into the crypt. He's there walking around seeing what he could do. But he knows that he's helpless. So he had to go into the crypt with Varys and the rest of the civilians or the free folk of Winterfell. That's where he belongs because he knows good and well. He keeps convincing himself that he can fight, but you cannot fight the dead. Yes, you survived the Battle of Blackwater, but you can't survive this. This is the dead knocking at your door, bruh. You ain't gonna survive. So now we start to see all of the Dothraki lining up, the Unsullied lining up. We see Patrick, we see Brienne, we see Jaime on the left flank. Then we see the Hound coming, making his way through the Unsullied. We see Gendry. Everybody's out there. Beric. We see everybody lined up waiting to see where the dead is, what's going on. Bruh. And then here comes out of the shadow. Out of the shadow, here comes this rider on a horse. This hooded rider. And as the figure gets closer to the army of the Dothraki and the army of the Unsullied, all you see was red. And we all know who the red woman is. Here she comes returning. Returning from Volantis. Returning like she promised she would, because she knows she's supposed to die in this country of Westeros. It is Melisandre. Out of the freaking darkness, here she comes, bruh. And she goes right up to Jorah, who's on his horse, who got his hand on Heartsbane, ready to withdraw that sword. Because it looked like a white. It looked like a white approaching, but it wasn't. It was Jorah coming through that joint, bruh. And here we go. She asks him, oh, do you speak their language? He says, yes, I do. And she tells him, tell them to raise their swords. And, you know, Jorah, he speaks that Dothraki very well, being around Dany for so long, being around Dothraki for so long. He speaks that language very well. And he tells them to raise their sword. So here comes Melisandre speaking in that native tongue, you know, because she works up the, you know, the light god, the Lord of Light. She worships him, so she believes that she has the power and to cast these spells or whatever. So she goes and touches one of the swords, and she starts speaking and doing those enchantments and everything. And all of a sudden, all you see is her hand on the sword. It goes from a steel metal sword, curved sword, to a flaming sword, bro. Look like she brought Lightbringer out for herself, bro. Oh my gosh. All you see is just all the Dothraki swords just light up on fire. And that gets them hype. That gets Jorah hype. So without any further ado, boom, they start to charge. Charge into the dark abyss. Don't even know what's going on. They just charging in, bruh. Yo. That was a dope scene. And then you see the Unsullied in the back. They're firing all of those they flame up the balls of fire. They light them and they start chucking them in the air, hoping to hit the dead. Bruh. All you see is just darkness. You're like, where are they? Who are they attacking? What's going on? All you see is darkness. And then all of a sudden, you see all them flames. You have Jon and Dany up on a hill looking down as the Dothraki charge in. This was the plan all along, to have the Dothraki charge first. And then this is going to lure out the Night King. Once you lure him out, then Jon and Dany's going to get on their dragons and fight the Night King in the air. This was all the plan. But all of a sudden, Dany starts to see Dothraki, charging. But she looks excited because she see, oh, they got flaming swords and stuff. Oh, this look nice fireworks. Well, let's see what's going on. And then you see them charge into the dark abyss. And they look like they got swallowed by the darkness. Swallowed by the undead. Because we can't see no more flaming swords anymore. All you see is, and you can see it in Jorah and some of the Dothraki riders. All you see is just a big giant come at them. And one of the Dothraki is looking up at the giant. And then you see the whole dead look like they were swallowing them whole like a great white or a great whale. All the flaming swords go out. It looked like all the Dothraki riders get knocked or licked off their horses. Boom. Dany's concerned. She's worried. And she figured Jon is not going to understand. The Dothraki's loyal to Dany. They ain't loyal to Jon. So my girl, Dany, queen of the Dothraki, she gets up on her dragon and she starts riding out and starts burning these whites. Burning them. And Jon has no choice but to join her because the plan just fell apart. They were supposed to wait until the Night King freaking shows himself, and he didn't. So Dany has an obligation to her riders. She knows in her heart that she has to protect them because they believe in her. To them, Dany is their queen. And she just oh my God. She gets on Drogon. She flies out, starts burning all the undead. Burn them, burn them, burn. And it looks like there's more of them coming. They just won't stop coming. Jon and Dany just burn them, burn them. They just keep coming. And then all of a sudden, you see them charging at the Unsullied. You see them charging at Tormund, charging at the Hound, charging at Brienne, Jaime, Podrick, Beric. They're going at it. They're going at it for like a few minutes, man. Let me tell you. And it comes to the point where these freaking undead whites, there were just so much of them. They pushed back the Unsullied. All the way back to the trench, they pushed them back, son. That's how powerful these whites, that's how fast they run. That's how powerful they can kill you. And quickly they can just kill you just like that. So they pushed them back, man. Yo. Sam is out there fighting. Dolores Edge out there fighting. They get some good kills and whatever. Then you see Sam freaking, one of the whites knock over Sam. Sam is all scared and everything. He's trying to hold them off. And then here comes Dolores Edge to kill one of the whites. And he said, and then there goes Sam looking around. I don't know what to do. I'm scared. Dolores Edge's like, Sam, get up. Get up, Sam. He picks him up by his neck. He picks him up. And all of a sudden, a white just comes from behind and just kills Dolores Edge. Bruh. I'm like, Sam, you always have people protecting you, man. And look what happened. You got Dolores Edge killed, bruh. What the hell? He gets killed and then Sam runs off. And then everybody's getting pushed back, man. Pushed back all the way to the trench. And then while they're fighting, there's this big cloud of just, it looked like winter's just taking over. Dany and Jon can't see no more. They trying to burn all the whites, and they just can't look down and see anymore. And then you see Davos signaling at Dany with the fiery staffs. Yo, light the trench. Cause that's what Grey Worm is telling Davos to signal them. That was the plan. But because they jumped in there so early, I guess the flames from the dragons or whatever just started bringing up all of this, soot and all of this, like, you couldn't see because all of the whites are getting burnt. And I guess the ashes from the whites, it brings up all that soot, all that smoke. You can't see nothing. Between both dragons, you can't see nothing, bro. Yo, so that was the signal, though. Like the trench, she couldn't do it. So here comes Melisandre. She comes out. She does her incantations again. The Lord of Light is always blessing her with these powers. So she lights the trench by herself. By herself. You don't need no dragons when you got her. It looked like she went to Volantis, and met up with other red women, and she got all their powers because I thought that she was going to bring back an army of her own. But look like she got all their powers consumed into her body, and she was able to use her body, use her magic to have all these fiery powers. It's crazy, son. It's crazy. She lights up the whole trench by herself. The whites stop in their tracks. Then we get into a picture where we see Bran at the weirwood tree. And we know Theon's was gonna go there to protect him. So Bran, Theon said, "Yo, Bran, I'm sorry for everything I've done. I'm sorry." Bran's like, "Don't worry about it. All of this stuff led up to this point." And he said, "You don't have to apologize. Man up. Protect me." That's what Bran's like. That's what he's all about. So he said, "All right, bet." So Bran said, "I gotta go now." So he walks into the crows, and he's flying with the float. The crows are all perched on a nearby tree, or on the weirwood tree. He walked into them just to see where the Night King is. Bruh. You see the crows go up into the sky. It's still full of soot and full of smoke, and you can't see nothing. All of a sudden, you see the scales of Viserion in the freaking clouds, bruh, perched up high. And you see the Night King, because I think he's a green seer too. Now, he can't just walk, but he could do anything. So, and you see his light, his eyes. You don't see the blue eyes. You see them like he's warging into his whites, the undead. And he's telling them, "Yo, lay down. You sacrifice yourselves, get burned, lay down, because we're going to get through these flames." So they get through the flames, and they put out all the flames. And now the whites are attacking the wall. So now here's Davos, here's Jaime, here's Brienne saying, "Mound the wall, mound the wall." So they try to mound the wall. And these whites start to pile up on bodies on top of bodies, looking like World War Z zombies, piling up on each other, climbing up like a ladder. Bruh, they climb up, they get high up. Let me tell you, son, this joint is crazy. All you see is them just murking soldiers from Winterfell, because everybody's forced back into Winterfell now. They're beyond the trench. They're way back into the castle. They're on the walls now. They're on the balconies and the edges where the archers and everybody is. Yo, these whites start climbing like ladders, and they finally get through too. So you see Jaime and Brienne murking some of them. You see the Hound murking some. You see Beric murking some. Yo, even Arya was kicking ass, son. All of a sudden, the whites just kept coming, and they started to like really enclose and take over. There's nowhere to run. There's nowhere to escape. Bruh. After Arya was badass, she started to get overwhelmed. And one of the whites licked her, and she hit her head right on one of the walls, and she's there on the ground. Now, we know how badass she is, but one badass can't fight a horde of whites, bro. That's not happening. That's not happening. So Arya's there escaping. She's running for her life, trying to maneuver and get out. Yo, she finally gets into Winterfell, you know what I'm saying, into the castle, deep into the castle, and she's running. And she's now in the library, which is crazy, because now some of the whites, they've gotten into the library and they're creeping around and everything. She's there trying to be stealthy and trying to hide and not get caught hiding under the table. One of the whites knelt down all the way down and looked under the table. There goes Arya. She's quick with it. She got out. And then you see there's a scene where Arya, all of a sudden, she kills one white. The white dies. And then I guess they heard the thud of the white dying. So she closes the door and escapes, and you see all the white charging in after she locked the door. All you see them charge, and then here comes Arya running for her life. She wounded, she don't know what to do. And here comes Beric and the Hound. Yo, Beric sacrificed himself, man. Beric died, and I felt that, son, just to save Arya. Beric got stabbed. Climb. He's charging in to protect Arya. Climb. The Hound is scared shit on the side somewhere. Go help her, Hound. Go help her. What are you scared for? Here comes Beric sacrificing his body, just taking all of the stabbing, son. And I was mad because I wanted Beric to live, because he had the kiss of life, son. He had the kiss of life that he could give Danny or John if one of them were to die. Yo. So he finally dies. They get out. They escape the horde of the whites. They close the door. They're in the room where the fireplace is, and Arya meets the red woman. And Beric dies right there on the spot. And she said, and the red woman, Melisandre, she's like, he's come back so many times, and he's finally, he's finally fulfilled his purpose. And then Arya turns toward her and said, I know you. You said we'll meet again. And she said, here we are. And she said, oh, I seen you. You kill green eyes, you kill brown eyes, and you kill blue eyes. And Arya just pauses and says, oh, but not now, not today. And she just walks out of the room and leaves Melisandre and the Hound right there. So that means Arya has another plan. She's going off. So now, this is the part, oh man, this episode was so crazy. This episode is fantastic. So now we're in the crypts now where Tyrion's there, because Arya told Sansa to go to the crypts. You shouldn't be here. She gives her one of the dragon glass daggers and goes and tells her, yo, use it. She's like, I don't know how to use it. Arya says, just take the tip and point it into the body, into the enemy. That's how you do it. You kill him with the pointy end. So Sansa's in the crypt with Tyrion and Varys and Missandei. All of a sudden, bruh, yo, the Night King, son, is fighting the dragons up on top of Winterfell. You see Dany and you see Jon on their dragons. Jon is on Rhaegal, Dany's on Drogon. And let me tell you, bruh, that aerial battle was crazy. Jon is taking Rhaegal and he's just tearing up Viserion. The Night King and Jon going at it. The Night King has his little staff, icicle staff, trying to throw it like he's an Olympian, throw it at Jon and try and kill him. But Viserion's on the neck of Rhaegal trying to get at Jon. He takes off his fur coat with his teeth. And he's just biting the neck of Rhaegal. There go Rhaegal. I think Rhaegal died. Because all of a sudden, the dragon falls down. He flies down, he falls down, and then Jon is off of the dragon. He fell off the dragon. So I think Rhaegal died, but Viserion got messed up as well. Bruh, Night King got licked off because here come Drogon from on top. He freaking just clamped on like a falcon clenching onto its prey with his talons. Drogon just freaking knocked the Night King off of Viserion. And then the Night King falls down into the abyss somewhere. And you see Drogon just freaking up Viserion. Half his face is ripped off, but Viserion is still alive. Because we see later on that he's attacking Jon on top of the castle of Winterfell. So it's crazy. Then once the Night King is down on the ground, here comes Dany looking directly at him. And I thought this was a beautiful scene, bro. This scene was fantastic. All you see is Dany say, Dracarys. Bruh. I thought Dragonfire could kill the Night King. Nope. After Drogon blazed him up, lit his ass up, the Night King, after the fire cleared up, Jon's looking at him, seeing, oh, man, he could be dead. All of a sudden, you see freaking, the Night King was freaking coming out of the freaking scorching of the flames. The flame is pulled back. You see him still alive, bruh. You see him still alive. And then he takes his little icicle staff and tries to throw it at Dany. Dany and Drogon go away. So you see Jon charging. He unsees Longclaw while he's charging. And the Night King paused. He's like, hold up. He looks back. Yo, he sees Jon charging. Jon slows up. And all you just see the Night King is just do this, bruh. And all you see is that all the soldiers and the Dothraki that were killed in battle just raise up. The Unsullied too. And even some of the men of Winterfell. Some of the men of the Night's Watch that came with Dolorous Ed in them. Even Dolorous Ed himself. He came up. And everybody just surrounding him, bruh. Everybody surrounded, ready to freaking attack Jon. And the Night King just continues to keep on going, yo. He just keeps on moving. It's crazy. Yo, another death that got me, son. Another death that got me before we even continue to go on. Lady Mormont, son. Lyanna Mormont. Oh, bruh. She went out like a G, taking on that giant white all by herself, son. The first the giant comes through the walls of Winterfell, the doors and the gate, he bust through that joint. And then you see Lady Mormon's like, oh man, she can't even like stand up straight because the giant is shaking the freaking ground that she's walking on. And he slaps her silly. And she goes flying, wounded, blood gashing out of her head. She gets up, takes her dragon glass. She starts screaming at that freaking white giant. Giant picks up, starts crushing her body, son. Yo, she takes that dragon glass and just sticks it in that one blue eye. That giant just goes straight down, son, and freaking collapses and evaporates into nothing but bones and dust. And she's dead. So when the Night King actually raised his hands up, yo, he raised up Lady Mormont and he raised up Dolores, and who already were killed early on in battle. Oh man, I can't believe she died, son, but we knew it was coming. She wished Jorah good fortune. Unfortunately, she didn't wish herself good fortune, man. She took that L hard, but she went out like a G though. At least she took out a giant. Nobody else took out a giant in this episode. So Jon is fighting all of the undead that was risen up from the freaking ground. This is like freaking Battle of the Bastards all over again. Jon is always swarmed in enclosed spaces, bro. It's crazy. What the hell? And he's all dirty, covered in soot and ash and bones and all type of shit. So the Night King is going to continue to press on. And where does he go? He goes to the Weirwood Tree where Bran is still warging into the crows and everything. And you see Theon and the rest of the men. Okay, here comes the white. Let's kill him. Let's murk him. Got the arrows with the dragon glass tips, murking them. These freaking whites are just coming out of nowhere, son. Out of nowhere. Murking him until he finished with all his arrows. All the men defending Bran, dead and gone. Theon's the last man standing, killing him. He has a staff or dragon glass staff. He's just shanking him, killing him right and left. And all of a sudden, Bran wargs out of the crows, and he looks at him and said, "Thank you, Theon." Or before he says thank you, he said, "Theon, you are a good man. Thank you." And then all you see is Theon look away from Bran, and he's looking directly at the Night King, bro. The Night King is in the Weirwood Tree, bro. Theon just takes his dragon glass staff, and he starts charging at the Night King. The Night King says, "Oh, really? You want to charge at me, bitch?" He breaks the staff, and then he takes the tip of it and kills Theon with that joint, bro. It was like the quickest death of the episode, man. He just killed Theon just like that. Well, Reek, you went out like a G, man. That's how you. First of all, you're stupid. You're stupid to charge the Night King. And second of all, you still went out like a G because you redeemed yourself, bro. From being a coward and a wimp, you redeemed yourself, sir. Thank you for fighting for House Stark. Night King just killed his ass, bro. And all you see him is just walking slowly with his little, Night King type fingernails and claws and shit. He's just walking towards Bran. All you see him is just looking at Bran. And he's standing over him. And he's tilted his head like this. And he's about to reach for his sword or whatever to kill Bran. Bruh. Out of the mother freaking ashes, all you see is Arya jumping out screaming. The Night King turns around, catches her like this, man. Catches her like this. And said, "Oh, really, bitch? What you gonna do?" She takes out that dagger that she had to stab him, drops that joint like she's dropping the mic. Shoop. She catches it with the other hand and stabs the Night King right in the side. Not even in the chest where he got stabbed with dragon glass. In his side. Bruh. The Night King freaking bursts into ice, into dust, and he evaporates. He's gone. And you just see you see the White Walkers, all 11, 12 of them dead. You see all the whites dead. Even Viserion dead. Arya is a G. We all thought, even myself, I thought that it was going to be Jon that's going to go kill the Night King. Or Dany when she was going to use Drogon to light his ass up. Bruh, it was the one that we least expected. And we know that she's a badass. Now she's going to be known for killing the Night King. She's a queen. She's called a Kingslayer now. That's what Arya is. She's a Kingslayer. Forget Jaime. She killed the Night King. Or in the book, she's called the Night's King. Arya killed the Night King. That was the highlight moment for me, bro. I lost my shit. I was screaming at the TV. I was going, and I love Arya. Arya is like besides Dany, I love me some Arya, man. She's so badass. And I ain't just saying I love Arya because she got freaky in the last episode. Nah, I've always ridden with Arya. When she went to the house of the faceless men and she learned from freaking Jaqen H'ghar and the Waif how to fight. It's like, yo, this girl's gonna be badass, man. And look, she took out the Night King. The Great War is over, y'all. Now y'all gonna put some respect on it. Arya's a G. And shout out to Jorah, man. Jorah went out like a G defending my queen, Dany Stormborn, Dany Targaryen, man. What? All them whites were charging. Dany got like a little tip of a dragon glass spear. She got like a long spear end, and she's there fighting off the whites. Jorah is blocking her, defending her, taking all of the freaking stabbing and everything. Just the whites stabbing him. Yo. And he finally died, son. He took his last breath when all of the whites collapsed after the Night King died. He finally took his last breath. And you see Dany crying, man. The waterworks just came out, son. I never seen my queen get so emotional like that. My queen, she got so emotional, bruh. I felt that because Jorah's been with her since day one, son. Day one. Yo, this episode was fantastic. Oh, I just can't believe how the Night King died, son. But I'm happy it's over now. The Great War is over. The long night is over. Now the living can fight against the living. And Dany could, my queen, she could reclaim the freaking 7 kingdoms, bruh. We'll see. Because now, you know, Dany and Jon, they still have a little rift with each other. We'll see. Because you could see that in this episode. Jon is trying to pull Dany like, yo, don't leave yet. We're trying to lure out the Night King. The Dothraki did their part. Now wait for the Night King to show up. Dany's like, no, you can't understand. That's what I took from it. You can't understand how loyal the Dothraki is. She goes on Drogon. And Jon had no choice. He's there brooding like this. He decided to go on Rhaegal and follow her. And they both lighten up. Yo. So now there's going to be some friction in the next episode, y'all. There's going to be some friction between Dany and Jon yet again. But the Night King is dead. We can move on. I'm happy how it ended because Arya, I didn't expect that. I wanted Jon to do it. But Jon can't always be the hero, man. He can't. Neither can Dany. So we find somebody else who's an unsung hero, which is Arya. And I love that girl. Man, she just got my respect. She attacked the Night King head on. And she knew that it was her job to do it because Melisandre said, you were the one that's going to kill them brown eyes, blue eyes, green eyes. The Night King had the blue eyes. It was Arya that was supposed to do it. That was foreshadowed since way back in season 3, season 4, when Arya first met the Red Woman. It just came full circle. And it was crazy to see Melisandre go out the way she did. She knew that she had to come back and help with this battle. And she did. She did her job. She took off that necklace. That woman got old and gray. You already know. That woman's like at least 3,000 years old. She took off the necklace. Man, she walked into the freaking snow, got naked, and just died. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. So, guys, let me know what y'all think. Leave and post comments in the comment section what y'all think about this episode. I wanted to give you my full review. Bruh, the Night King is dead, bruh. I give this episode 10 out of 10, bruhs. Straight up. If I'm voting right now, this is 10 out of 10, bruhs. It was so good. So good. And all I can say is I got to give it one more, bruh. Oh. All right, squad. Let me know what y'all think. Like, subscribe, share Geek Samurai. And until next time, I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.